What's up, everybody? What up? Okay, so I did something really stupid. By the way, my name's Aubrey. Glad that you're here. Tonight, I want to know what brings you value. What brings you value in life? I want to know what would bring you value from this channel. What's worth your time? And it's not too late. I'll just talk about it. I also want to test some stuff. We got a new camera, so we're testing that out. Just want to hang out with you guys, say what's up. So say hi. If you're on here, say hi in the chat. I see Alyssa Terrell. What's up? How are you? Let me get this stuff set up right here. So glad that you're here. Say hi in the chat if you just got here. And if you're just tuning in, let me know what brings you value. What brings you value? I want to know. Hi, Alyssa. Hi, Megan. Of course, always on there supporting me. I love you, boo. And then the title says Simone Biles still. I don't know why I updated that, but we'll change it. All right. All right, here we are. So I did something really stupid. Okay, say hi if you're just jumping on here, but I did something really stupid. I was checking my hair before I came on, and came on like like this is a TV show or something. I'm checking my hair and I'm like, okay, it looks good. And then I pull out cologne and I spray myself. I sprayed myself for the live. So I hope you guys are enjoying my smell. I hope I smell good, smell good enough for you tonight, because I went ahead and sprayed for you. So let me get situated here. As I said, we got a new camera, so I'm testing that stuff out, checking it out. I see Alyssa. I see Megan. Hello, 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 hello. I don't know why you say goodbye. I say hello. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. We're on Facebook right now because I've got a bunch of friends on Facebook and want to let them know about the YouTube that I have started. You can subscribe. Just search Aubrey Sanchez on YouTube. It's AubreySanchez.com. I don't know why it's AubreySanchez.com, but for some reason that's what my YouTube. And if you can hear me okay, give me a thumbs up. If you can see me okay, give me a thumbs up. If I'm blurry, don't give me a down thumbs. If you don't like my face, there's nothing I can do about that. So I'm joking. Come on, guys. Come on. So I'm watching these comments. Let me know. Here's the question I have for you to start with. Hi, buddy. My dog just ran in here. Here's the question I have for you to get this thing started. What would bring you value on this channel? What are some things that you're like, man, or maybe what do you watch on other channels? I have some ideas of what I want to do. And, I started this thing off saying, I don't have this all figured out. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I just think I'm supposed to do it. So here's a few things that we can hit tonight if you're on here. I have some thoughts, I have those every once in a while, a couple days a week. I'll have a thought or two. How about this? Who am I is a thought that I've really been thinking about a lot lately. We can talk about that. Tanner Wright, Brave. What's up, dude? How are you, man? So here, who am I is a thought I had. It's not too late is a thought that I have had lately. I'll just start with that. If you're just joining in, Tanner, I see you on Facebook. Thanks for joining in. Those of you on YouTube, thank you for hopping on here. Make sure you say hi in the comments if you haven't already. So the question is, what brings you value? What brings you value? What would bring you value? Like maybe you have questions we could talk about, or maybe you like tech stuff. I don't know. What's my favorite coffee? It doesn't matter. What would bring you value to this? Or what is something that maybe you listen to or watch outside of this channel that brings you value? I'd love to know, but I'll tell you a thought that I've been having lately. My daughter stole my music. Hang on a second. I got to have the music. Please hold. This is why we're testing this stuff. Okay, we got music back. You hear the music now? Okay, all right. I see some of you giving thumbs up. Okay, so here's a thought I had that may encourage you because it encouraged me. So if you follow me and you follow my stories, you know that I've been taking walks lately. I don't know about you, but I gained a few pounds over this quarantine. We'll blame it on COVID, but really it's not COVID's fault. It's a lack of discipline fault, right? So I've gained a few pounds over COVID. Thanks, Tanner. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Hey, I want your feedback, dude. You guys, listen, this is a community. This is something I'm really studying right now, and then I'll promise I'll give you a thought. But I really enjoy the live streams because I like interacting with you guys. So that's why I'm like, hey, I love this interaction. I love for you guys to be involved and quit stealing my music. My kids keep stealing my music. Okay, there you go. Hang on one second. You couldn't hear that, but I had to yell at them in the room to stop stealing my music. So that's kind of, I want this to not just be like me just talking. I really want this to be a community. I think I'll call you tomorrow. I'll have to rewatch this in the morning. Well, Tanner, thank you, dude. I appreciate you. And so that's what I really want. Something I've been studying is how to build community, even online. I know many of you live around where I live, as far as in Norman, Oklahoma, but there's a lot of people that can connect to a community. And I think when people find something in common, it can build community. So I love that. But let me share this thought that I've had that I heard somebody say. Good night, Tanner. Love you, dude. It was this man, he's in his 60s, and he's really been a voice in my life. And let me just encourage you, man. You need to have voices in your life that speak into you. A lot of people thought that, it was a mentor or somebody like that. And, in today's world, I'll just be honest with you, not everything is going to be in proximity, right? You need people speaking into your life, but it's not always going to be somebody even in your city. It's not always going to be somebody that you even know. There are voices that can be in your life with today's technology and social media, YouTube, Facebook, all these different things. You can find voices that it genuinely feels like this person knows who I am, or this person understands me, or this person helps me in what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. And so there's a guy, his name is Paul Scanlon. He's a guy that I listen to. I keep putting this in because I want to make sure I'm not losing my music again. That's why I keep putting this thing in and out. But he's a guy that I listen to. And Brian Armstrong, what's up, man? He's a guy that I listen to. He's in his 60s. And he said something the other day. He's talking about aging well now because he's at a stage of life where he's starting to age. And as he says, youth is not cheap anymore. Youth is now costing me things. And so one of the things he said is, when I was 40, I did something that has absolutely helped me later in life. He said, when I was 40, I started walking every day. And which I think is awesome, because I had just started walking. So I was like, yeah, I'm really smart. You've had those moments where you're like, oh yeah, I already do that, But what really encouraged me about it was, I'm about to turn 40. Told you, we're just gonna be super vulnerable here. I'm about to turn 40 on September 23rd. Write that down if you want to send me gifts. No, I'm kidding. But I'm about to turn 40 on September 23rd. And I don't know how old you are. You're watching. Maybe you're watching the replay. I'm not going to tell you to put that in the chat because that could be very embarrassing, especially for the ladies. But there are moments, as you approach 40 where you feel like maybe you missed your prime, or there's things that you thought you would have done, or there's areas that you've exceeded, but there's also areas that you're like, man, I've missed it, or it's too late. I remember when we started the church that my wife and I lead, somebody straight up looked at me in the face and said, you're starting a church? You're way too old to start a church, which is not true, because the reality is that the average pastor in America now is 58 or older, which is crazy. I'm considered a young pastor at 40, which is nuts. But that's besides the point. But I'm a man, I'm 40. I love that, Alyssa. little Gundy reference there. Gundy.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, Gundy. Come on. Let's give it up for Boomer Sooner. Yep. Now, that's a reference that I need to get on here. I need to get the Boomer Sooner song so that we can play Boomer Sooner randomly. I think that's a good idea. Yep. That gets a DJ air horn for that. You guys want to hear my other sounds? Yeah, that's my son. This is a weird laugh. So if I ever have you on and you say something funny or weird, we'll just play the weird laugh. And then you'll be like,
man.
Come on, man. So we're having fun. But so he said this, and I loved it. And, at 40, sometimes it feels like that you have missed things, or it's too late, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. But yet here's this voice in my life, this man that's in his 60s talking about aging well and saying, I started this when I was 40, and something just clicked in me. And I hope this maybe could encourage you, because that's why I'm doing this, to encourage you. Maybe you're at that point where you feel like you've missed something. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm stuck in this rut of saying, well, I'm 40 or whatever. It's not really a rut, but these thoughts come in your head like, oh, well, I missed it, or it's too late. I was listening to something that somebody was speaking over my life when I was 18, and I was like, God, I'm almost 40 now, and did I miss that, or did I mess it up, or whatever? And I start thinking these things, and then there's this guy that's 65 saying, I started this when I was 40, and it has paid dividends as I've grown older. And so it was just cool for me, because something triggered for me like, wow, there's things that I can do, that I can start now, because there's a whole other stage of life that I'm not even there yet. And the things that I do now affect tomorrow. The things that I do now affect that next phase of life. And so I just want to encourage you with that, because that really helped me. If that helped you, would you just give me some thumbs up? Would you like this video if you're on YouTube and you're like, man, yeah, I feel that, Aubrey. I feel that. It was just a really cool moment for me, because I just get in these ruts sometimes where you're thinking, oh, you missed it. But there's a whole other stage of life. If you're just graduating from high school and you're like, oh, man, this life is over or whatever. Man, you've got a whole stage of life. If you're in college and you feel like college is life when you're in college, and then there's after college and you're like, oh, I have to be an adult and do all these things now, And then you have kids. I mean, there's all these stages of life, and it's never too late to start doing what you should be doing. So if that helped you, would you give me a little bit of a thumbs up? You guys are quiet tonight. Come on, say something. What adds value to your life? Tell me a podcast that you might listen to, a YouTube channel that you may watch. Tell me that. What adds value to your life? I'm checking these comments here. Megan, I don't know what those faces are, but it looks like because I said I'm almost 40. You can hear me breathing. That's creepy. All right. Rachel Hollis. What about Rachel Hollis, Megan, adds value to your life? What is it about Rachel Hollis that you like? Also, if you're on here, you have any feedback? Man, I'd love feedback. Like, hey, your mic's too loud. Whatever, let me know, because we're figuring this thing out. I think I'm in this for the long haul. I think we're going to help a lot of people through this, and not just people here. I think God is going to use this to be a voice in people's lives, spiritually, in a lot of ways. There's other things I want to talk about too. She's real, doesn't sugarcoat things, challenges my thinking. I like that. Challenges my thinking. I could challenge some thinking. Let me leave you with this. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching the replay. It's late. Okay. Be nice to me. Be nice. It's late.
Come on, man.
So let me leave you with this. One of the things that I've really been, because I'm thinking about this, like this concept of, it's not too late to start the things that you felt like you should have been doing, or, there's a whole other stage in life that I'm building for right now. And the question I've really been asking myself and trying to build around is, and I encourage you to ask yourself this, is, who am I? Who am I? And that's a big question, like, oh, who am I? I don't know, But one of the things that I've done is I love to journal. I don't journal with a pen. I use Evernote, and then it's really cool because I can just search a word if I have a thought or something, and it brings up any note that I've ever written that has this word in it. So it's really, really cool. That's why I use that. Uh-oh. This is what we're testing right here. Please hold. So it appears that we have a timer on this camera that we're going to have to figure out. So, hey, this is a test. We're growing together. All right. So the question that I ask is, who am I? And what I would encourage you to do with that is this, is just to look at any buzzwords that have come through your life. Like, I mean, I can share a few of mine. Um, Passion's always been something that ever since I was young, it's like, oh, you're passionate, you're passionate. Pioneering is something that's always been part of my life. Even as a little guy, people are like, yeah, you're a pioneer, you do things different, you think differently. And that's very true for those of you that know me. Family's always been a big word with me as far as like relationally, not just family like my kids and my wife, but family of like bringing people in and really having a community, which is what I'm looking to really start to build here, is people close to the area I live in, but also people that can connect to us on the internet and be a part, and we can speak into their lives and be a family all across the world, literally, which I think is pretty cool. So those are some words that have just kind of been consistent throughout my life. And so I'm starting to look at that and say, okay, as I build for this next season of my life, I want to know who I am so that I can start to build toward those things. And because I've got like this fire underneath me that it's like, man, I'm still building. Ryan Armstrong says, I don't believe it's ever too late to start something new as long as you've been in prayer about changing seasons in your life. Absolutely. And I think that's a good point, Ryan, because one thing that I'm learning is that my life is going through a lot of changes right now personally, as far as what I do and, church. And I've led a church for a long time, been in ministry for a long time. Ministry looks a lot different after COVID-19, and there's still a lot of people trying to figure it out. And there's all these changes, but what's crazy is life changes. But what I'm finding God doing in my life right now is he's actually taking me back to the original. So that's why I'm telling you, like, ask these questions, like, who am I? What are some words that have been with me through my whole life? Because there's a lot of things that will change around you, but there's a foundation of who you're created to be that doesn't change, right? And so that's what I'm finding is I have built a lot of things around me on things that aren't who I am, in a sense, if that makes sense. So the change that's happening in my life now is not change to new stuff. It's changing back to the original. So a word that I don't know if this is a real word, but I've been using it, is revolve. People talk about evolve, and I don't want to get into a discussion about evolution and creation. That's not what I mean. But as things progress, we call that evolving, right? Well, so that's kind of what I feel like I'm at in my life right now, is like I'm evolving, but I'm actually revolving, because I'm not evolving into something new. I'm actually going back to original intention of clarity of who I'm created to be. And so I think prayer, Brian, like you said, that's why that's so important, because that has continuously brought up in my life all these things that are coming back. I mean, I have notes. Just the other day, I pulled up a note. I was looking through some of these words, and I pulled up a note, and I was like, oh my gosh, honey, I showed it to my wife. I was like, read this. I don't ever even remember writing this. Like, this is crazy. And it says all this stuff, and I'm like, I knew a long time ago. I just, for some reason, got away from it. So I've been calling it revolve. Things always change around you, but God's always bringing it back to the heart of who you are created to be. And so I love that, Ryan. That's good. Any other thoughts on that? It's almost 10:30. Revolve. I'm going to look that up. Is that a real word? Let's look that up. Let's see if revolve's a real word. Revolve.com. That's not what I want. clothing. Apparently it's a lot of clothes. Oh, revolve definition. Here we go. We're exploring together. Oh, yeah. To move. Oh, duh. That is a word. I feel about as dumb now as I did when I sprayed cologne before I came on camera. Yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying my smell. Move in a circle on a central axis. So that's a great picture. There's this center of who you are, of who you're created to be, and you revolve around that. And things change, you know, just like the earth when it rotates, there's sun, moon. Okay. Move in a circular orbit. Treat as the most important point or element. Man, that's good. So yeah, revolve's a real word. Imagine that. You guys are probably sitting there thinking like, oh, duh, man. All right. Well, those are some thoughts today. I didn't have a big agenda today. I was just like, man, I told my wife, I was like, we haven't been live. Let's go live. Let's hang out. So if you're watching the replay of this, I'll go back and I visit all the comments. I would love for you to be a part of that and engage in this conversation. And I will go back and I'll reply to the comments. I'm going to do my best to reply to every comment, YouTube, Facebook. And I'm going to fire back with some questions. So get ready, man. Let's have a conversation. I don't want this to be just watch, you know. Let's build this community. Let's encourage each other. Let's collaborate together and help people. Really, that's what I want to do, is just help people. And you guys could have helped me by telling me revolve's a real word. Oh, man, I feel really dumb.
Come on, man.
There's not a more appropriate time for this. Durr. Yeah, that's about how I feel right now. Durr, durr, durr. So if you're watching the replay, thank you. Hey, like this video. It really helps. I kept thinking of a revolver. Yeah, me too. When you like this video, it's free for you. Doesn't cost you anything, but it's like, hey, it lets the algorithm know that I like this, and I think there's more people that would like this as well. So if you would like that, I would appreciate it very much. If you have not followed the YouTube channel yet, at some point, I'm going to go over just to YouTube, okay? I'm doing Facebook and YouTube right now, but at some point, it's just going to go just to YouTube. And so if you have not followed the YouTube channel, let me pull up that link real quick and send it. I'll post it in the chats there. Let's see here. Bum, 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 bum. I'm getting this here. Yeah, so please subscribe if you have not already subscribed to the YouTube channel. I would much appreciate it. All right. I keep forgetting how to do the subscribe thing. It's embarrassing. There we go. Okay. We got it here. Let me post it. Coming to you. Boom. There you go. So if you have not subscribed, please do so. I would much, much appreciate it. Well, I'm going to get out of here for today. It's 10:30. I'll be back. Maybe we'll do another one this week. And listen, again, I started this with the question of what adds value, or maybe you have a question or something and you're like, hey, let's talk about this, or what do you think the Bible says about this, or what do you think spiritual, or what do you think of this coffee? It doesn't matter to me. Let's just talk and let's start a dialogue together. So if you have something like that, you can shoot me a message, or you can just post it in the comments. Again, I'll revisit all these comments. Like it, follow me, subscribe, hit the bell so you get all the notifications when we go live. Appreciate you guys being here with me, and we